Imagine losing a limb and growing it back, not in months, not with surgery, but naturally, like it was nothing. Some animals can regrow legs, tails, eyes, even their entire heart or brain. These aren't monsters from science fiction. These are real creatures. And today we're diving into the world of nature's regenerators. Axolotl, the regeneration god. In the ancient lakes of Mexico lives a creature unlike any other. With feathery gills sprouting from its head and a perpetual smile, the axolotl looks almost mythical. But it's not its appearance that has scientists captivated, it's its ability to regenerate with supernatural precision. Unlike most amphibians, the axolotl never undergoes full metamorphosis. It remains in a juvenile aquatic state its entire life, a condition known as neoteny. And within that state lies the secret to its regenerative prowess. When an axolotl loses a limb, a process called epimorphic regeneration kicks in. First, a clot forms over the wound, and within days, a structure called a blastema forms underneath, a mass of pluripotent cells capable of becoming muscle, bone, blood vessels, and nerves. Axolotls can do this repeatedly without loss of function. They can also regenerate parts of their heart, spinal cord, eyes, and even their brain. In experiments, axolotls have recovered from injuries that would be fatal to most animals. Starfish, the arm multipliers. Beneath the ocean's surface, clinging to the rocky seabed, a starfish glides slowly across the coral floor. It seems fragile at first glance, but don't be fooled. This five-armed echinoderm hides a power that borders on science fiction: the ability to regrow entire limbs, and sometimes even entire bodies. When a starfish loses an arm, whether torn off by a predator or severed in an accident, a regenerative process is immediately triggered. Specialized cells called covolomocytes, cleaning up debris and preventing infection. Soon after, undifferentiated cells begin to multiply, forming new tissue. These cells act much like stem cells in humans, only far more potent. Within days, a small bud appears at the wound site. Over weeks or months, depending on species and environment, a fully formed arm grows back, complete with muscles, nerves, and tube feet. But the real marvel is this: if part of the central disc is attached to the severed limb, that arm can regenerate into an entirely new starfish. This is known as asexual reproduction by fragmentation. Gecko, the emergency escape artist. High in the trees or on the walls of homes, geckos roam silently, their toe pads allowing them to climb smooth surfaces with ease. But when danger strikes, they don't fight, they flee. Geckos are among the many lizards capable of caudal autotomy, the ability to detach their tails when attacked. The tail continues to wiggle, distracting the predator while the gecko escapes. But what happens after? Unlike other regenerators, geckos don't form a blastema. Instead, they rely on a more structured regenerative process. Within days, a cartilaginous rod begins forming at the injury site. Blood vessels, muscle tissues, and skin follow. The regenerated tail is not a perfect replica. It lacks the segmented vertebrae and sometimes looks smoother or duller. The gecko's regeneration is a practical tool in its survival kit: fast, functional, and good enough to escape danger again. Zebrafish, the heart regrower. In freshwater aquariums around the world, zebrafish dart playfully through the water. They're small, colorful, and seemingly ordinary, but beneath their shimmering scales lies one of nature's most astonishing talents. Zebrafish can regenerate up to 20% of their heart tissue after injury. If a portion of their heart is surgically removed, it regrows entirely within weeks. But how? The zebrafish reactivates a set of genes normally dormant in adult vertebrates. These genes stimulate cardiomyocytes, heart muscle cells, to divide and rebuild the damaged area. Researchers are now using zebrafish as a model to understand human heart failure and develop regenerative therapies. A small fish, yes, but with a giant medical future. Is human regeneration possible? Human bodies heal, but they don't regenerate. Lose a fingertip and some children may regrow part of it, but lose a limb and it's gone forever. Our biology is built to repair, not to rebuild. But what if that could change? Scientists around the world are exploring regenerative medicine. Through stem cells, gene editing, and biomaterials, they are testing the boundaries of biology. Lab-grown organs, 3D-printed skin, synthetic scaffolds that guide tissue regeneration. In some trials, human patients have seen cartilage regrowth in knees. In others, spinal cord injuries have shown signs of partial repair. But we are far from the axolotl or the zebrafish. Still, we are learning. The creatures that regenerate naturally hold the answers. By decoding their biology, we might one day teach the human body to do what nature once allowed, to regrow, restore, and heal completely. The dream of regeneration is no longer just science fiction. It is the next frontier of medicine. Subscribe to Just Imagine for more mind-blowing discoveries.